Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to Non Bres Oblige. At least that's what it says there. I believe this is Nijigoji Naito Kodo de. So I will be changing things up a little bit. It'll just be one song per reaction video, but I'll be watching the MV and then the color coded. That way I don't have to stress out so much when I'm trying to watch the music video, and I could just enjoy the experience as it is and then focus more on the meaning of the song in the color coded. So I hope you enjoy it. And of course, as always, if you have a reaction video that you like me to react to guaranteed ASAP, then be sure to go to my sponsor page, sponsor.app/trailblazer_ddina. Otherwise, let's get started. Miku. Oh.
世界中のすべての人間に好かれるなんて気持ち悪いよ。だけど一つになれない教室で君と二人手をつないでいたいの。数の通り組みしな肩を開けて悪感情をこなして感じつポストトゥルースの甘いビッグキスへの空間テレナクアント
Oh, Miku with white hair looks good.
する強者のナンセンスオトクチュールで作る殺しのライセンス分断を生んじゃったイストリゲーム待つ分娩で授かるベイブ壮大な内輪乗りを歴史と呼ぶ生きがいが死ねと真似みたいが生きると言われ生きがいが死ねと真似みたいが生きる
Okay, I like this one. I think in the previous one, I was starting to get into Nijigoji, but this is, yeah, definitely getting better. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I really like when they harmonize together. Oh, that's stressful. That must be how they feel. That's so pretty. And here's the color coded.
世界中のすべての人間に好かれるなんて気持ち悪いよ。だけど一つになれない教室で君と二人手をつないでいたいの。数の通り組みしな肩を開けて悪感情をこなして感じつポストトゥルースの甘いビッグキスへの空間テレナクアントピース思考中の光線銃乱射する強者のナンセンスオトクチュールで作る殺しのライセンス分断を生んじゃったイストリゲーム待つ分娩で授かるベイブ壮大な内輪乗りを歴史と呼ぶ生きがいが死ねと真似みたいが生きると
Oh my gosh, what the heck?
死にたいが生きろと言われ幸せ自慢はダメこんな経験のため涼しい言葉を避けた無理にないのため3回この世には息もできない
It seems like this song is a lot about like reputation and making sure that you're not seen as overly emotional for the sake of the future. Especially the most shocking part was this particular line where it was this part, 生きたいが死ねと言われ、死にたいが生きろと言われ。So they want to live, but then they're told to die. But then they want to die, but they're told to live. It's always about the opposites where you don't really notice the extremes until you're in a situation where you're in an extreme situation, you realize that people want you to do the opposite, which is quite saddening. I mean, not that this is, I mean, this part, the 生きたいが死ぬと言われ, or 死ねと言われ, sorry. Sometimes I feel like I'm like singing, or no, not singing, talking with the tongue twister when I'm trying to switch between languages. Even for Korean and Japanese and English, it just makes my tongue go all over the place. But that particular part, it could like depend on the situation. So on one hand, it could be you're told you have a terminal illness and then you're told that you're going to die, but you obviously want to live. But it's also a case where, you know, someone wants to live, but then the situations around them, for example, bullying was and is going through so much to the point that where people are telling them, oh, you should just die because you did this and this and this, or for really sad reasons that don't even make sense. Extremes are difficult to get through, and I do wonder if this particular song has to do with the extreme differences and the irony that life has because of it.
世界中のすべての人間に疲れるなんて気持ち悪いよだけど一つになれない教室で君と二人手をつないでいたいの
But then on the other hand, they're talking about love, so I don't know.
感情をこなして感じつポストトゥルースの甘いビッグキスへの空間でルナクアントピース思考中の光線銃乱射する強者のナンセンスオトクチュールで作る殺しのライセンス分断を生んじゃったヒストリーゲーム待つ分娩で授かるベイブ壮大な内輪のりを歴史と呼ぶ
I guess it's supposed to be more along the lines of what's natural and what isn't, which is also another extreme difference or extreme ends. I find it so funny that they're talking about, let me see, if I'm true to one side and false to the other. I think that's very relevant, especially in the gaming sphere. I noticed that everyone has a lot of like tribalism that they have to deal with, and they always want to bring up their favorites but bring down the others instead of acknowledging that maybe both are actually good games. Maybe just not subjectively to your taste, but it's still decent enough where people are enjoying it. And yet in the end, we give, we take, we protect, we must understand. Just like what it says here. Maybe not into the context of the main story, but speaking of main story for this game, I noticed there's not really much video essays on the main story, so I'm either thinking of potentially just reacting to the main story recordings or just not really going into it at all. I would like you guys to let me know which you would prefer. Mainly because I don't think I'm going to be playing it anytime soon. And quite frankly, I don't like rhythm games. I suck at them and I really stress out over them. So I'm not exactly comfortable with the idea of playing rhythm games on stream, if that makes sense. And offline, I don't really have time to play games quite frequently. So that's something that I would like you guys to let me know what your thoughts are in regards to that. It's like a war. Oh, that's really funny. I mean, not really like funny, but like it's kind of ironic or realistic where people do use their complexes as weapons to fight. So their emotions, their inferiorities, what they feel superior over, people use as words to fight and argue with others. I guess I'm not really sure if there's like a specific focus here for this one in particular, but it's very much spitting out the truth about the reality of things. I did say earlier that this particular part feels very suffocating, and I wondered if that was what the character is supposedly feeling, if there's like a specific focus. Because I know you guys said that there's focuses for some of the songs, but obviously some aren't. Maybe this one isn't. But either way, in the point of view, whoever this is supposed to be following, or maybe everyone in general, when you try to only follow the extremes and let your complexes do the talking and not let yourself grieve or even feel emotions, then you're not really living. And in some ways, it feels like you're just suffocating yourself because you're not living properly, or at least in the way that humans were built, technically. Because technically, we're supposed to cry. I mean, biologically, it helps reduce the stress from our bodies. So that's why if you don't cry all the time, you're just building up stress for no reason, even though your body is literally like, hey, use my functionality, but you're not. Then in that kind of situation, you're living such a restrictive life to the point that you probably feel like you can't breathe. And perhaps that ends up developing into anxiety or possible disorders or anything along those lines. Which is obviously quite a sad thing. Wow. Pure white bird, huh? Although I do find it funny that they say convenience and freedom, and that's why they hold their breath. But I feel like that's more of a way of removing your freedom rather than keeping it. How do they breathe? I really like Enna's voice and Kanade. I think those two might have the voices that I prefer the most, at least in this group. I think I not managed, but I believe I mentioned that I liked Kanade in the previous one, right? That was the girl that I really liked in the Nijigoji, the one with Rin, I believe. I think it was her that I liked voice-wise the most, vocally. But I also really like Enna's voice. There's something very appealing about her voice. Oh, but everyone has really good voices. But in this one, I think Enna stood the most out of everyone. In any case, I do believe, I feel like I'm like missing some kind of context here for the song. Like how love can connect with what the rest of the things they were saying. I feel like I'm missing some kind of context or some kind of connection between the two, because it's everything fits except for the parts where they talk about the I love you or like love, or it feels like those parts are talking about like romantic love, but at the same time maybe not. Then it makes a little bit more sense if it's platonic. I'm gonna have to ask for you guys to clarify that particular part. But overall, as for musically, I actually really enjoyed the song. It was a very good use of Miku's voice as well, and the tuning was done beautifully. The harmony between the voices for this one was done significantly well. And I think what helped it even more was the fact where they would be repeating like non bures, that part, along with the other ones. that really builds up the tension and the, I guess, idea of suffocation, which in this case they said it's oblige or obliged, like they have to do it, they're obliged to do it for their convenience and freedom for whatever reason, which I feel like it should be the opposite. If they want the opposite, then they would no longer breathe. But perhaps, like I said, maybe I'm missing some kind of context here. I do think this format's a little bit easier. I liked being able to just enjoy the visuals as it is and then be able to focus more on the lyrics side of things here in the second video. So I hope you enjoyed that kind of formatting, because that's how I'll be doing it from now on. The more repeats in the future, once I get through the playlist that I currently have, the more likely I'm going to prioritize on my reactions. So if you do want me to react to something immediately, then and guaranteed, then be sure to go to my sponsor page. If not, I hope you did enjoy my reaction to my analysis of the lyrics, but also my enjoyment of the 3D MVs and or future 2D MVs, I suppose, if it's a 2D MV instead. In any case, I'll see you guys later. And if you enjoyed it, then be sure to give it a like, comment below, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!